Hello friends, my name is Narsi Reddy and I am conducting the show of teaching English vocabulary and enhancing your communication skills in a logical and enjoyable and interesting manner. Lot of you must be preparing or appearing for various competitive exams like CAT, GRE, GMAT, campus recruitment exams for software companies, and also many of you would like to enhance or improve your communication skills in English. One of the most key factors of communication skills is your word power and your ability to know more and more words and their proper meanings. But lots of people are afraid of English because they have a feeling that English is very difficult to learn. So what I will be doing is, I will be teaching many words. The approach we will follow is, we take newspapers, magazines, we scan the articles that are coming in newspapers and magazines day in and day out. We pick some of the words that are important or probably which are so simple or ordinary that even if you do not understand the exact meaning of the word, you may understand the overall context, but still if you know the exact meaning of that word, it becomes more clear and it will help you to know the difference of those words in real life. So the approach we will follow, when we take a word, we explain the synonyms, that is the words with similar meanings, antonyms, that is the words with opposite meanings, words that have similar spelling, words that have confusion with some other words because they have similar pronunciation or similar spelling, we will be learning with that approach. So let us take a newspaper. So this is an Economic Times paper. Here there is an article. India says it is WTO. What is WTO? World Trade Organization compliant on solar mission. India says it is World Trade Organization compliant on solar mission. Here let us take a word called compliant. Immediately we know this sounds very similar to another word called complaint. If you know a little bit of English, you might have also heard of a word called complacent, and one more word, complacent. One more word, complacent. All these words sound very similar. What is the meaning of these words? We will go into the root words and try to understand. What is complaint? Compliant, this comes from comply. My dear friend, if you would like to study in this college and get your degree, you have to comply with all the rules and regulations of this institution. If you would like to succeed in this company, you have to comply with all the rules and procedures. What is comply? Comply is to follow. So compliant, when you are compliant, you are following whatever are the rules or regulations. You are fitting into those rules and regulations. You are obedient to those rules and regulations. I have a car. My car is compliant with all the environmental and pollution regulations. That means my car does not pollute. My car, I have a factory. My factory is built in a way it is compliant to all the environmental and legal regulations. I am compliant. I am compliant means I am obedient. I am following it. I am fulfilling all the conditions. Complaint. What is complaint? You have a problem with my teaching, then you lodge a complaint about me. You have a grievance, then you lodge a complaint. Complacent. The word complacent is used to describe a person's nature, character. Hey, what do you think of Bob? I find Bob to be a very complacent person. Complacent is a person who has a pleasing behavior. Complacent is a person who has a pleasing behavior. As you can see, this comes from place, which is a changed form of please. So, somebody who is very polite, very decent, very lovable, very likable in personality, very pleasing attitude and pleasing manner. Complacent. What is complacent? I think I am a very successful person. I am a very rich man. I am a very handsome person. I am a very famous person. I am a very knowledgeable person. If you have some skill, you feel good about it, that's okay. Okay, I am knowledgeable, okay, I am rich, okay, I am intelligent, okay, I am famous. Some people feel good about themselves. You have to feel good about you. Because if you don't love yourself, if you do not feel good about yourself, you cannot love anything else in this world. Then you have to hate others. But sometimes the love for your own abilities, the love for your own capabilities makes you overconfident. You become more satisfied than necessary. Hey, how is life? Oh, I am great man. Oh, I am very rich man. Oh, I am very successful man. Oh, I am very beautiful man. So, if you are over self-satisfied, over happy, over confident about your own abilities, capabilities, achievements, I say I am very complacent. Is it a positive or a negative term? Generally, feeling too good about your own abilities is a negative thing, because when you are extremely satisfied, your progress stops there. You do not try anything new and you don't achieve. So, let us understand these words and try to build some more words. We started with a word called compliant. The word compliant obviously comes from pliant. What is compliant or pliant? Obedient. What is obedient? My students are very pliant. When I tell them to do something, they do it. They don't question me. They don't oppose me. They don't rebel against me. So, I can mold them. They listen to me. They are manageable. They are controllable. So, pliant or compliant. This word, I will explain the root word. You have a wood called plywood. You see this wood. This is plywood. Why is plywood called plywood? Because plywood is the wood that can be very easily molded into any shape you want. There is no other wood in the world which is as flexible, as controllable, as moldable as plywood. That's why you call it plywood. So, what is ply? Ply is to mold. Ply is to control. So, what is pliant, compliant or pliable? He is a very pliable person. Pliable, compliant or pliant. All these words are obedient, easy to manage, easy to control or moldable. In almost in the same meaning as obedient, easy to manage, easy to control, we can take various words. So, we have just now learnt a word called pliable, tractable, and somewhat you have a word called amenable, though these two words come from metals, we can also use it to describe people. Malleable, and of course one more word, ductile. Ductile cannot be used for people. Ductile has to be used only for metals. Pliable. tractable, amenable, malleable, ductile. He is a very malleable person. This is a very amenable technology. This technology is amenable to be used in this industry. So, pliable, tractable, amenable, malleable, ductile. All these are obedient, manageable, controllable, easy to control, easy to manage, or easy to mold in a way that you want. Malleable and ductile are used for metals. Malleable or ductile is something that can be made into wires and something that can be made into sheets. Made into sheets and made into wires are malleable and ductile. So, these are the things. What is the opposite of somebody who is easy to control? Somebody who is easy to control, opposite is somebody who is difficult to control. A person or a group which is uncontrollable. A person or a group which is unmanageable. The students in my class are very unmanageable. The students in my class are very rebellious. They don't listen to me. My children are very rebellious. They don't listen to me. They cannot be controlled. So, in the meaning of somebody who cannot be controlled, we can take various words: intractable, intractable, refractory, fractious, recalcitrant, unruly, boisterous, obstreperous, etc. All these words, intractable, refractory, fractious, recalcitrant, unruly, boisterous and obstreperous. All these words can be taken in the meaning of a person who is rebellious, a person who is not listening to what I say, a person who is difficult to control or difficult to manage. The students in my class are very refractory. The staff in my company are very recalcitrant. How many times I tell them to do something, they don't listen to me. They are not obedient. So, they are very unruly. Here, one or two words I will try to explain a little bit. If you see the word refractory and fractious, the two words refractory and fractious come from fraction. What is a fraction? A fraction is a broken part. A fraction is a broken part. 100 is a number, but 3 by 4 is a fraction. A fraction is broken part. When anything has too many parts in it, it becomes difficult to control. I am taking a class. If I am taking a class, when I am explaining a concept, suppose all the students in my class are engineers. I can give an example which engineers can understand. All the students in my class are doctors. I can give an example which the doctors can understand. I have a class where all the students are history students, then I can give an example from history. But I have, let us say, 30 students in a class. 5 are engineers, 5 are doctors, 5 are history students, 5 are pharmacy students, 5 are economics students, and some others are some other students. Then I do not know what to teach, because whichever example I give, 70% of the people will be unhappy or they cannot understand. When anything has too many groups in it, it becomes very difficult to control, it becomes very difficult to manage. So, that is why refractory or fractious, these two words are difficult to control because there are too many fractions or divisions in it, or because the group is not homogeneous or the group is heterogeneous. You have this word called boisterous. The word boisterous exact meaning is noisy. The word boisterous is exact meaning is noisy. So somebody is uncontrollable because they are very, very noisy. Hey, I live in a very quiet neighborhood, but in the adjacent apartment, a group of young people have joined, and every night they have very boisterous parties late into the night. So I am getting disturbed and I am not having sleep. They have a very boisterous party. What is a boisterous party? Very, very noisy, very, very filled with disturbance, blaring music. So something that is noisy, so it is disobedient or uncontrollable. What did we do? We have taken a word called compliant from a newspaper article. From this word called compliant, we have taken pliable. Pliable we have taken as moldable, easy to manage, easy to control, and from there we have discussed various words. While discussing these words, I have given a word called complacent. Complacent. Complacent is very, very, very happy with one's own abilities, with one's own capabilities. The word complacent comes from a root word placate. What is placate? Placate, soothe, mollify, assuage, pacify. Placate, soothe, mollify, pacify, assuage. All these can be taken as synonyms. What is placate? Suppose somebody is very angry about something. Somebody is very nervous about something. Somebody is very tensed up about something. Then I go, tell some good words, make them cool down, make them reduce their anger, make them reduce their pain, make them reduce their suffering, and try to bring them cool down. So what is placate? Suppose you are very angry about something. We had an argument and I used some bad words. I irritated you. Then you became angry. Then after some time I realize my mistake. I come to you and say, hey, you are my friend. You are my brother. Okay, in tension I said something. When I was angry I said something. Okay, it's my mistake, forgive me. Come, let's go and have a drink. So you calm down. You are going for a test and you are very nervous about the test. Then I come and tell you, hey, you are the most intelligent person I have seen in my life. Why are you tensed up? I am sure you will pass with flying colors. Cool down. So you get soothed, soothing words, pacifying words, placating words, assuaging action. So all these words basically mean to make someone cool down or calm down, to make someone cool down or calm down, to reduce anger, pain, suffering, tension, nervousness is what is called placate, soothe, mollify, assuage, pacify. Here we have a word called mollify. So from this word called mollify, we have one more word, emollient. What is emollient? Lot of people take lot of care about their skin. During some winter and summer, some people have this irritation of the skin. So to reduce the irritation of the skin, you apply some balm, you apply a cream, or you apply a snow cream, or any such substance which is applied to the skin to reduce irritation or to reduce pain or to soften the skin. So any cream or balm or lotion which is applied to reduce irritation or to soften the skin is what is called emollient. So we have taken a word called compliant. From compliant, we have discussed some words. We have explained what is complaint. Then we have discussed what is complacent. Complacent is to be very, very happy or peaceful with one's own abilities. Oh, I am successful. Oh, I am very, intelligent. Oh, I am very beautiful. So you are very happy with your own achievements. Here we have discussed one more word called complacent. Complacent is a person who is very pleasing in his behavior, very pleasing in his personality. He is very polite, very disciplined, or very, very, very nice social behavior or social attitude. We have a word called complacent, because complacent is coming from a word called place, which is please, a person who has a pleasing behavior. In the meaning of what do we call somebody who is very, very pleasing in his dress, in his appearance. So we were learning a word called complacent. We said that the word complacent is coming from a word called please, and any person who is having a very pleasing attitude or pleasing behavior, very likable or lovable behavior, is called complacent. In this occasion, let us learn some more words which are taken in the meaning of a person with a very pleasing attitude. A person with a pleasing attitude is called urbane, suave, decorous, personable, comity, affable, amiable, etc. All these words are taken in the meaning of a person who is very, very, very decent or pleasant in behavior. Urbane, as you can see, urbane comes from urban. There is a general feeling. People who come from cities are very cultured. People who come from villages or rural areas may not be very sophisticated, may not be very cultured. So, urbane, suave, decorous. The word decorous comes from a word called decorum. What is decorum? Decorum is decency. My dear friend, this is an educational institution. You have to maintain certain decorum. You cannot come to the class wearing flip-flops or slippers or something like that. Hey, this is a classroom. You cannot come to the classroom and smoke in the classroom. You have to maintain certain decorum. Decorum is decency. So what is decorous? Decorous is decent, polite, well-mannered behavior. Personable. Personable is also very lovable, likable behavior. So urbane, suave, decorous, personable, comity, affable, amiable, all these words mean lovable, likable, polite or pleasant in behavior. The opposite of these words is a person who is not very polite, not very decent in their behavior. So in the meaning of a person who is not very decent in their behavior, we can take words like Philistine, rustic, gauche, uncouth, etc. Uncouth. He is very uncouth in his language. He is very uncouth in his behavior. Uncouth is uncultured or unsophisticated. Uncultured or unsophisticated. Rustic. Rustic actually means rural. Rustic basically means rural. But somehow there is a general feeling in the world, anybody who is coming from villages or rural do not know the niceties of life, do not have the ability to behave nicely or impressively in a situation, social situation. So, they use the word rustic in the meaning of rural or not very cultured. Gauche, if you read some dictionaries, the meaning of the word gauche is given as left-handed. How left-handed can be taken as synonym of uncultured? Most of the people in this world are right-handed. So, if I am a lefty, if I drink water with right hand, I drink normally. But because of my hand got fractured, so I cannot use that hand. So, I try to drink water with left hand, what will happen? My entire shirt will become wet. If I try to do something, so it will look clumsy. So, gauche is taken in the meaning of any person whose behavior is a little bit clumsy or awkward. So, when you do something with the left hand, your attitude or your behavior may be very clumsy or awkward. One more word is Philistine. The word Philistine actually came from Bible. So, in Bible there was a story of David and Goliath. So, in this David and Goliath story, Goliath was a very cruel, barbaric person. He attacks the village of a small boy called David and troubles the people in that village. Then one day David got an idea, who is a very small boy. Then when this person called Goliath was sleeping in a tent outside the village, David went there, took a catapult or a sling or something. In that he put a small stone, aimed it and threw it. So, the small stone went and hit Goliath on the temple and Goliath died on the spot. So, there is a situation where a small boy killed a very cruel, frightening and barbaric person. So, historically anywhere in the world, when a small or weak person defeats a stronger, powerful person, it is called a David and Goliath fight. In this story, the person called Goliath belonged to a very uncultured, very cruel and barbaric tribe called Philistine. So, from that the word Philistine has taken a meaning called very cruel, barbaric, uncultured, unrefined, unsophisticated. Here we have discussed a word called compliant. From this word called compliant, we have taken a word called complacent, which is a person with pleasing behavior, and opposite a person who is uncultured. In the meaning of uncultured, I have explained a word called rustic. Rustic actually is rural, but anything rural is taken as unsophisticated or uncultured. So, as a synonym of rustic, we could also take a word called bucolic. Bucolic also means rural, but bucolic is generally used in a positive way. Rustic is generally used in a negative way. When you think of a village, what are the things that come to your mind? When you think of a village, lot of dirt, lot of mud, animals, etc., etc. But in a village, you also think of beautiful trees, pleasant weather, no pollution, simple life, etc. If you are talking about the negative things of a village, you call it rustic. The positive things of a village, you call bucolic. Come to this place, live in bucolic surroundings. So, you can learn words by grouping them together in a logical way, in an intelligent way. I hope you find this interesting. I hope you will give us some feedback about the methodology and the words that are taught. So, kindly write to us at promaccoaching@gmail.com and let us know your feedback. Thank you very much. Please come back next time and let us learn some more words in the next session in an interesting manner. Thank you.